I wanted to give you a quick update now that we've had more than 100 annotations to collection one. So when you open Classroom Salon now, you have that option when you're on that first screen on our salon of either clicking on the pen here, as most of you did, in order to get a clean copy. You did that for your initial annotations, and that's really the easiest way to just do the readings the first time. But now that there are more than 100 annotations, I would suggest either clicking just on collection one here or on this little cloud icon to get into the discussion stage. Now remember, these follow-up annotations are due anytime between now and Sunday night. So the next time you come back to Salon, open up collection one. I'll do that here. And you'll see, of course, what comes up is pretty much everybody's annotations so far. And what you can do is still go back to a specific moment in one of the three texts that is interesting to you, maybe something you commented on in the first place, and notice how the most heavily commented upon passages are the darkest red here. So if you just see a passage that got a lot of attention and you just want to weigh in on it, like the beginning of, let's go back up here to, let's say this one here, where you see suddenly there's a lot of commentary on, and if I abuse you with my tongue, take my head for satisfaction. So let's just highlight that, and what happens over here on the right is these are all the comments that you and your classmates have made just to that passage. And so you can kind of look at what Danielle and Candy and Adam and Jacob and Ramona are saying about this passage, and then if you had something to say to one of these classmates, you could go into what Adam says here, where he says he sounds like a used car salesman. You can kill me if I'm a liar. I mean, if you aren't happy, you can always just go back home. You'll get rich unless something bad happens to you, which I can't control. So this is Adam's way of saying that John Smith is sounding a little bit like a used car salesman here. And if you decided you wanted to reply to that, you could click on reply, and then you'd have a reply here to Adam. And what we can do is, if we use those follow-up annotations as an opportunity to kind of comment on each other's annotations, the discussion will sort of deepen, and it creates a kind of tree of discussion. So that's one way we can go with these follow-up annotations. If you want to get back out to the main text, you can just click cancel, and up there where I just did, and then that'll get you back to the whole array of comments. Now, as you can see up here, there were also a ton of comments made up here. So, if you just want to look at this passage again, only the comments here have to do with this particular passage that I just highlighted. And to get back and forth out of a specific passage, you just click cancel, and that'll come back out then to the main look here. There is also a possibility, if you come back through these texts and you decide, I think I'd like to say something now about, what Smith said about Constantinople here. You can always still do that, highlight it, make a comment. That'll show up as one of your 4 follow-up annotations as well. Or if there's a text that you didn't get a chance to pay attention to the first time around, feel free to use the follow-up annotations as a chance to just get some more marginalia filed into the collection. So either way, just so long as I see at least 4 more annotations by Sunday night, you'll satisfy that requirement. So that's Salon, and it's working out. Everybody's getting on it, and I think you're beginning to see the payoff here of being able to see what everybody's comments look like once there are more than 100 out there. It's really a neat visual and a great way to have the text out there, plus your classmates' thoughts about it. Let me pop over to the wiki, and there, your first assignment is due tonight, and that is in your student work section, which I think I've successfully revamped to include the current roster of students. So you would go to your main page, and if you were, let's say, Danielle, you've got this ready to go, Danielle and anybody else, and you just kind of go, as I was showing you, I think in the last video, you just kind of click on edit, and then you can just dump whatever you want to say about the Smith, Winthrop, Bacon, some combination thereof. This is where you really are able to kind of stretch out a little bit and produce something that's more like a couple 100 words, like a good-sized paragraph or two about the collection of readings. And that's the kind of thing that's not as easy to do on Salon, where you're commenting on specific lines and phrases and words and maybe paragraphs. This is much more of a global kind of rendering of what you thought of the passage. Not the passage, but the whole assignment. And remember, probably the most important routine document for you to get to know and maybe print out is this one: reading responses, group responses, and annotations. Most of the questions I've gotten from folks during this first week, the answers to those questions are buried somewhere in this rather long document that I've created here. And remember, too, that it's really only at the bottom of this document, the latter half of it or so, where you actually see some specific questions that have to do with each reading response from 1 through 10. So that's kind of for the whole semester. So, and then that's due tonight, as you know, and then on Memorial Day evening, I think it's Monday night, when the group response is due, and that'll be once everybody's had a chance to post something to the reading responses, and that's where you go back to your group, which again would be over in student work at some point over the weekend after tonight when everybody's posted their stuff. So if you were Danielle, you'd want to go in and read what Joyce and Lewis and Lindsay and Candy and Mary and Kurt had to say, and then kind of respond to their posts by Monday night in your own student workspace. But there is a way. Let's say again, if you wanted to comment on something that Louis said, for instance, you'd look at Louis' post, and you could go down here in the comments section and double post your response to Louis' post on Monday night down here in the comments section. And that's something that Louis would have all semester long, a comment from Danielle about his reading response 1, which is a nice way to kind of archive some stuff. So that's all in the instructions. If you look closely at the reading responses, group responses, and annotations, right around in here, after the group response, the generic questions that I've written here about things you can do, you can definitely double post your thoughts about their reading response. So, and you can actually just do it in your own student workspace so that you get credit for it, but also do it in the comments section of their student workspace. I think you'll get the hang of it. It's, again, kind of like a group discussion. So, more later, but I just wanted to celebrate the fact that in 4 short days, we got more than 100 annotations on an unfamiliar platform for all of you. So I applaud you. Kudos for your persistence in learning how to use Salon so quickly and easily. And I do think that what I'm hearing back from most of you is that PV Works, where I am right now, is a little bit easier actually than Salon. It's certainly a little bit more put together. It's more of a commercial product. So, you know, there are far fewer bugs in it. But at the same time, Salon is really exciting in terms of being on the cutting edge of how you can conduct a distance ed class that has a sense of community to it. So hang in there, keep up the good work, and I'll talk to you soon.